Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I thought the question will be ruled out of order. Seems to be in contravening the standing orders to say that it's not subject to any specific subject. It's generalized. But anyway, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'll just assist the honourable member to give him the necessary responses that he is requiring, provided he is also preparing supplementary questions to the questions that he has. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, TSLS is a statutory autonomous body that provides funding through scholarship for Fijian students to undertake tertiary and vocational education. Scholarship allocation, Mr. Speaker, sir, continues to be guided by the TSLS Act of 2014, approved government policy, national budget process, approved scheme criteria, and the principles of fairness, transparency, merit, equity, national priority, and accountability. What has changed, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the way TSLS is now managing the public investment entrusted to it. Since January this year, TSLS has been undergoing a thorough evidence-based change management program. This program reviews the full operations of the organization, including policy administration, financial controls, workflows, student support, legal compliance, data system, inter-agency coordination, service delivery, stakeholder engagement, and monitoring of graduate outcomes. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is aligned with the functions of TSLS under the law, including the processing of scheme applications, assessment of continuing students, development of payment and invoicing process, and in collaboration with the Fiji Revenue and Customs Services, Department of Immigration, and other government agencies for the enforcement and facilitation of schemes, repayments, and other conditions. The Act also allows TSLS to request enrollment and academic information from eligible institutions to assist in the performance of its function. Mr. Speaker, sir, the other changes is that TSLS is now moving away from the transactional approach where scholarships are simply awarded and invoices being paid. They are now moving towards a more responsible partnership-based model where tertiary education institutions, government agencies, employers, and communities share responsibility for student success. TSLS is formalizing letters of agreement with local tertiary institutions, including universities, to improve the way sponsored students are supported. For instance, under the draft letter of agreement with the University of the South Pacific, the university is expected to provide term-by-term enrollment reports, feedbacks on academic results, and at-risk students, notification of disciplinary matters, welfare-related concerns, pastoral care for TSLS-sponsored students, and collaboration on technical application program interface, or API, integration for seamless digital data sharing. Mr. Speaker, sir, these arrangements are not designed to reduce access, but to improve access, completion, reduce wastage, and ensure that public funding results in quality qualification. TSLS is also strengthening arrangement for overseas scholarship pathways. A letter of agreement with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and External Trade is intended to expand overseas study opportunities by mapping scholarship programs to national priority areas. Mr. Speaker, sir, in relation to overseas university, TSLS has secured standard letters of agreement that secure better student support commitments and tuition-free reductions. And I'm pleased to state that a number of overseas arrangements provide approximately 25% tuition reduction. And TSLS has also secured savings for more than $1.5 million through such negotiated arrangements. Another landmark administrative arrangement, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the work now being undertaken with the Fiji National Provident Fund. This is the first time in the history of scholarship administration in Fiji that TSLS is deliberately working to track return on investment at this level. Government has invested about $1.4 billion in scholarship and tertiary funding since 2014, And we must now ask the question, where are our graduates? Are they employed? Are they contributing to Fiji? And how can we improve the link between funding, graduation, employment, and national services? Mr. Speaker, sir, based on the TSLS advisory portal data and FNPF records accessed through API-based matching, TSLS has the following preliminary snapshot for approximately graduates after 2023. Total approximate graduates after 2023 is around about 7,528. Total approximate graduates in employment with FNPF records is around 3,540, which accounts for 47%. And total approximate graduates with no employment records with FNPF is around 2,665, which accounts to 35%. Total approximate graduate under FNPF, but not currently employed, is 1,323, which accounts to about 18%. Mr. Speaker, sir, these data are not being used to penalize students. It has been used to strengthen evidence-based policy. It allows TSLS and the government to understand employment outcomes, bonding compliance, workforce absorption, migration trends, and areas where further support may be required. It is also important to note, Mr. Speaker, sir, that no FNPF employment record does not automatically mean unemployment. Some graduates may be self-employed in overseas countries, further study in informal work, or subject to data matching issues. That is precisely why TSLS is also progressing arrangements with the Department of Immigration, the Ministry of Justice through births, deaths, and marriages, FRCS, and other agencies, so that government can better understand the status of its investment and support graduates appropriately. We also recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the Tokay Land Trust Board, and this is part of bringing TSLS services closer to the people, including leases and land-owning communities. The aim is to make scholarship and tertiary funding information more accessible, especially to families and communities that may not always have easy access to TSLS offices or online platforms. Mr. Speaker, sir, there are also broader policy reforms being considered through the 2026 and 2027 budget process. Now, Olive.
Thank the Minister for Education, Honorable Aseri Radrodro. Supplementary question.